Okuta na ama na Rivers State today ndị Ikwere na ama ya ka ha mọpụ onwe ha na ọchịchị. O tekere ndị Ikwere 40 years after ekere Rivers State echi Rivers State. But today enwetala ọchịchị, the worst confusion ndị Ikwere na alụnye ndị Ikwere ọgụ ka anyị chụpụ onwe anyị. Anyị chụpụ onwe anyị na anyị bewe akwa. Permit me to commence, having accepted to do that on existing protocols. First and foremost, I thank the organizers, the leadership of the ADF, and I thank immensely my brother, Sam Ohuabunwa Chief. I thank the son of late Philip Effiong, General Effiong, for your patience since morning. I think patience is hereditary. Your father was patient with Biafra. Now, we're at a crossroad, but we must be tactful. We must be tactful. We must be tactful. The Igbo man believes too much in universal justice and universal equity. But unfortunately, in the world, no race in the world that believes in universal justice and universal equity had done well. What brought us to where we are today, brought us very down, was the coup of 66. And I have said time without number. In 1966, those young majors who of the Igbo extraction that participated in that coup were very stupid. They were mad. The reason is that in 1966, the Igbos had dominated the social, economic, political space of Nigeria. You had 2 premiers, 3 university vice chancellors, the IG of police, it was said that the army. You don't plan a coup against government that you are in charge. We went in and lost out everything. Sir, it's like an Ikwere day by Shabia. Okuta na ama na Rivers State today ndị Ikwere na ama ya ka ha mọpụ onwe ha na ọchịchị. O tekere ndị Ikwere 40 years after ekere Rivers State echi Rivers State. But today enwetala ọchịchị, the worst confusion ndị Ikwere na alụnye ndị Ikwere ọgụ ka anyị chụpụ onwe anyị. Anyị chụpụ onwe anyị na anyị bewe akwa. Are you getting me? Ote Rivers State no, I dey united as ndị Ikwere, I gachi Rivers State forever. Because I nwere on record, ndị na-asụ Igbo na Rivers State constitute through 72% of the voting strength of Rivers State. But even if you have number, you don't have unity, that number will be useless. The Fulani na-ekwu ụka ya na Nigeria is a minority. In Nigeria, they're a minority. So how come that the minorities are ruling the majority? How come that they are ruling the Hausa? How come that they took over a Ilorin? So anytime you complain, you go back and ask question. Why are we not? It's not number. It is not because Fulani is Igbo, or because Fulani is organization and leadership. And that is what ADF want to offer to Ndonasu Igbo, leadership and organization. It's not number. Nowhere in the world can number nache. A man who has 5 children or 3 children can organize his family, rule an entire community forever, if they don't think. In Ilorin, in 1837, how did Alimi take over leadership of Ilorin from Afonja? Afonja invited him to drive away Alafin of Oyo. He successfully did it, eliminated Afonja, and enthroned his dynasty. Less than 0.1% of Ilorin Fulani here that ruling the Yorubas that constitute more than 99.9%. It is number, or strategy, or number na-emeri agha. You need number, but you need clear strategy. And that strategy is what ADF and Ohaneze and other bodies need to work out. 2, ana m arịọ, the biggest confidence ndị na-asụ Igbo nwere na Nigeria, anaghị ga-ejishi ha aka ikewo ndị ibibio Anang na ndị Efik. It is important we go back and read what the British government said about the Efiks and the Anangs and the Ibibios in the Herwilling report. The Ibibio man and the Anang man is a hard-working man like the Igbo man. He does not envy a hard-working person because he works too. And he found out that even when we're in trouble, they never abandoned us. Therefore, I na log kaina ndu Yoruba na n'aka. I'm not opposed to it. I'm not opposed to Middle Belt, but my concern nda no here aina ha omejele jide ha well. That is our biggest challenge. The reason is that if we have them, Yadi united, imeria na anything that is difficult. Two, the Amainebo Kalabare, who supported Biafra as a special advisor to Ojukwu from 1967 to 1970, was sent on exile by Dete Spiff. He died in 1973. His remains were buried at Ikoyi Cemetery for supporting Biafra. They've not returned it today. It's important. The biggest abandoned property in Rivers State, our property only Igbo, all property only Ijo. Nga the Port Harcourt Polytechnic now, and I the chairman of the Polytechnic, wo property Franco Pigo. His private secondary school called Niger Grammar School, he built it. He was the administrator for Yenagoa province. After the war, they seized it from him as abandoned property. I have spoken a lot about Nhemere. The target was not Ndonasibo. It was to completely destroy the unity of the East. Ndonile na ano na mba mmiri bụ ihe a n'ishi ha ụhụ ndị Igbo. Asari Dokobo is my personal friend. Mana ya nọ na detention. Asari Dokobo wụ onye Abam. Aha nna ya wee di abalị. Aha Asari wụ Ụzọdịmma. Masha Hari wụ onye ọcha ụgwa. Aha ya wụ Ibeneme. Briggs wụ Okorie. Alabo Grand Douglas wụ Okoma. Tan David West wụ Osuagwu. They are all Igbos. It was the war and the way the war ended. They were bound to deny their Igbo-ness because it was the only thing to be alive. So, we must be careful. We must do a detailed work. We can use the tragedy of the war and how it ended and what happened after to even unite as brothers with us. Margaret Ebu, Unonyi Igbo onye Amobia. The father left Amobia in 1902 to live in Calabar. Okwayamuru Margaret that later married Dr. Ebu. We must carry out a detailed research about Ebendi Igbo. As from the Ikwere, like Ndani Oma, we have come out of fear. That fear has ended. The reason is that when you deprive you political power, you pay dearly for it. That brings us to what option do we have now to engage Nigeria? We will engage Nigeria through two means. One, we can strategically engage Nigeria and negotiate for political power, which is possible to get, and restructure it the way we want, because nobody changes what is beneficial to him. I will be the last person to change a situation that is favorable to me. I will not do it. So don't blame the Fulani for not changing it to Tenchoro. If you are in that position, again, mayor. So what do we do? Engage them, negotiate power, but we must be careful. Nobody gives power to the wise. Even if they want to conceal power to Igbo, they will not conceal it to Professor Wala. You too, if you are concealing power to the Fulani, you will not give it to Professor Wala. There, you give it to a very unintelligent Fulani so I can collect the power from him. We must bring out our third level and allow them to engage the North and see whether the North by Ocheche the handshake to our brothers in Ibibio, Anang, Efik, Ejo must continue, and it must be earnest. We must do it soonest. I want to see when we meet, I get with Ndo traditional rulers in Akwa Ibom, nwete kendo Cross River, nwete kendo Delta, nwete kendo Bayelsa, nwete ndo na-asụ Igbo na Rivers na Delta. Anyị nọrọ gbawa izuzu hapụgodi ndo Middle Belt na ndị Yoruba. Thank you.
Kusie na aka ike.